In the domain of superstar, tumult the adventure of Kim Kardashian's interest to revive her security with previous mate Kanye West takes a charming yet, to some degree abnormal turn in spite of her sincere undertakings. The compromised try appeared to be trapped in a snare of entanglements, neglecting to accomplish the ideal result merit somebody that can go help everything he might do go follow him out of control and move to Wyoming. I can't do that he ought to have a spouse that upholds everything he might do and goes with him. And does everything and I mightn't die at any point feel like a disappointment is under him now. And it resembles would it be a good idea for me I know whether that will encourage you no. I don't think he'll presumably go not quite right on. It's truly confounding for me. It's so not the same as the individual that I wedded on the grounds that that is who I cherished. And that is who I recall that I'll successfully get that individual, adding fuel to fire of misery. The media reverberations, insight about Kanye West, expecting a kid with his ongoing accomplice Bianca, driving Kim into a frenzy of feelings, and leaving her inclination absolutely feeble in her frantic journey to recapture Kanye's warmth she ends up, depending on eccentric techniques. Just to observe these endeavors misfire pitiably hurting more than great, in the domain of VIP murmurs, a fairly fascinating talk is getting out and about proposing that Bianca Kanye's better half may be expecting the appearance of their most memorable kid hypothesis, ignited when the couple was spotted during their Tokyo caper. And Kanye fans couldn't resist the opportunity to see a few recognizable changes in Bianca's appearance for Kim. This piece of information resembles salt on a painful injury, adding to the test of dealing with the truth that Kanye's fondness for her has disappeared. Any promise of something better for compromise has blurred directly following previous occasions, and how she took care of their relationship in her frantic mission to recover Kanye's warmth. Kim put it all out there. She took extraordinary measures in any event, wearing attire suggestive of his new accomplice Bianca, and shared pictures on her Instagram, trusting this striking move could influence Kanye's impression of her. Unfortunately, the way to reclamation seems rockier than she envisioned in the midst of a hurricane of endeavors. Kim wound up wrestling with dissatisfaction, as Kanye remained apparently impenetrable to her endeavors not in any event. Recognizing her sincere undertakings, the heaviness of dissatisfaction bore vigorously on her shoulders, passing on her completely puzzled and unsure about how to catch her ex's subtle consideration, particularly with the unexpected blow of Kanye expecting one more kid with Bianca. Her reality appeared to disintegrate, and I couldn't resist the opportunity to contemplate whether her own decisions had added to this dilemma. Kim had depended on posting and participating in different undertakings to evoke some response from them, yet presently, she ended up tormented by the lament of not picking quietness. Rather, as insiders uncovered, Kim was exploring through one of the most difficult periods of her life, battling to find some peace with the way that Kanye had truly continued on. By the insight about the forthcoming option toward the West family ended up being the last limit, making her feelings flood and leaving her broke, as we as a whole realize Kim isn't one to effectively surrender. And she set out on her central goal to win him back by a lot of people of you may know that Kim and Kanye co-parent their little girl Northwest, which gives her a once-in-a-lifetime chance to take her action, an attempt to prevail upon Kanye regardless of Kim's earnest endeavors. Sources near them uncover that Kanye appears to have become uninterested towards her. Maybe she has abruptly become undetectable to him, and all he can zero in on is his better half Bianca. And their youngsters, over the course of his experience with Kim, Kanye had forever been vocal about his yearning for a sizable family, transparently communicating his longing for some youngsters and a huge family. Anyway, predetermination veered off in a strange direction, and that fantasy stayed unfulfilled during his relationship with Kim Kardashian. Now insiders uncover that Kanye is rising with certifiable energy, as he anticipates building a family with his new wife Bianca, She has turned into the epitome of his fantasies, the unaccounted for part he had for quite some time been looking for, and the one he imagines imparting the remainder of his life. To normally this spots Kim in an unquestionably difficult and fragile position. He believed that Kanye was her perfect partner, and they appeared to share a joyful marriage in any case. Conditions moved driving Kim to pursue the difficult choice of petitioning for legal separation, referring to tremendous changes that Kanye had gone through. During their time separated, you should review how ineffectively she treated Kanye in the past, going to the degree of marking him an insane stalker. It's somewhat confounding that now, as Kanye continues on, and has a pregnant wife, Kim, out of nowhere, wants him back so frantically that she will dismiss Bianca and openly play with Kanye. Let me shed some light on a fairly captivating and rather astounding occurrence, including Kim's endeavors to revive the fire with Kanye. The setting was Holy Person West's ball game, an apparently honest occasion where the two of them went to as dependable guardians for their kids. Anyway, behind this veneer of development, Kim had hidden ulterior thought processes. Observers present at the game couldn't resist the opportunity to see how Kim boldly concentrated on Kanye, apparently overlooking all the other things around her persevering endeavors to draw near to him, were very obvious, making it evident that her aims went past simply being a strong parent at her child's down. It's genuinely perplexing to observe such distress, and one can't resist the urge to contemplate whether she's consistently felt a hint of humiliations much seriously demoralizing that sources uncover Kanye's reaction to this present circumstance. He apparently turned Kim out altogether. Maybe she didn't exist in that frame of mind, as he sincerely gave his consideration regarding his kids and the b-ball game within reach in any event. When Kim attempted to acquire his consideration through their little girl North, it demonstrated useless. Kanye stayed unflinching regarding her, as though she were a more unusual calling out about him. It's genuinely terrible to observe this unfurl. Exacerbating the situation is all Kim's clear negligence for the way that Kanye is as of now not single and has continued on with Bianca. In spite of the truth, Kim's assurance to win him back stays faithful ring. She will take any measures to revive the affection she once imparted to him, despite the fact that he is presently expecting a kid with one more lady. This conduct shows discourtesy to Kanye, as well as profoundly disregards Bianca, who is purportedly conveying Kanye's kid. Given the ongoing conditions, it's fundamental for Kim to focus on her dignity and extend regard towards Kanye and his significant other. By stopping these activities, it's certain that Kim's endeavors to play with her presently hitched ex have caused a stir and created concern. A new open appearance saw Kim's wearing Kanye's clothing, which apparently passed on a message of missing him anyway. The recoil commendable activities didn't end there. Kim proceeded to like a few of Kanye's old pictures, especially from the time when he played out the genuine recognition, bound to a tune devoted to Kim, lauding her magnificence as the eighth miracle of the world. These activities undeniably signal her yearning for the past and a craving to revive what they once had tragically. This show additionally mirrors an absence of regard toward Bianca, Kanye's ongoing wife, as Kim enjoys coy way of behaving with her significant other. It's vital for Kim to make a stride back and consider the effect of her activities, showing development and understanding in this sensitive circumstance. Kim Kardashian's new excursion to Tokyo with her child Holy Person West has ignited critical conversations among her fans. Her activities have raised hypotheses about her goals and whether she may be interrupting Kanye's new existence. With his ongoing wife Bianca, Sansori insiders near Kim uncover that she is finding it hard to adapt to Kanye's newly discovered love for Bianca. Sansori, surprised and hurt by the speed of their marriage, Kim supposedly can't resist the urge to see Bianca As an untouchable, she harbors sensations of disdain towards their relationship and battles. To fathom how Kanye continued on so quickly, Kim's dear companions are communicating their interests, expressing that the truth star is going through a blend of disappointment, trouble, and even resentment in regards to how her relationship with Kanye at last unfurled. The once strong couple that once enamored the world's consideration has now been supplanted with a feeling of misfortune and yearning on Kim's part. In the midst of the steadfast look of tenacious paparazzi cameras, the mysterious Kardashian matron has wound up at the focal point of theories during her new visits to Japan. Murmurs of her endeavors to reconnect with Kanye West have whirled around as reports recommend Kim has been investigating every possibility in her endeavors to revive the sparkles of their past. Anyway, insiders near Kanye uncover a differentiating story, an account of relentless obligation to his new existence with Bianca. Sensori, the Grammy-winning craftsman, appears to be immovably set out to stay away from his past section, with Kim leaving her wrestling with mounting disappointment. The close-to-home embroidery between Kim Kardashian and Kanye West remaining parts, unpredictable and tangled, declining to unwind as the adventure keeps on unfurling in the midst of inquisitive eyes of spectators, pundits, and the media. One can't resist the urge to contemplate whether this cryptic part in their lives will at any point track down conclusion, or on the other hand, assuming that the show will persevere, dazzling the worldwide stage. It's pivotal for fans to remember that Kim was the person who initiated the separation from Kanye West, recognizing and regarding the choice she made is currently fundamental, empowering the two of them to push ahead with their lives and find self-improvement and joy in their different ways, while co-nurturing liabilities are perceived. Many fans belly